Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking an absolutely massive fitness dilemma. We're talking about the fat loss paradox, walking versus running. Look, if you're trying to lose that stubborn belly fat, you've probably stood by your front door, laced up your sneakers, and faced this exact choice. Should I walk or should I run? Okay, let's dive right into this because I think most people assume the answer is super obvious. Running just feels harder, right? You're sweating buckets, your heart is pounding out of your chest, and you're gasping for air. So logically, it just has to burn more fat. Well, not exactly. One of the biggest myths in the entire fitness world has convinced millions of people that they're actually exercising the wrong way. The workout that burns the absolute most fat isn't always the one that leaves you breathless. To really understand why, we have to talk about the infamous fat burning zone. If you spend literally any time on fitness social media, you have definitely heard influencers throwing this term around. The biological idea behind it is actually pretty simple, and hey, it's scientifically true. At lower exercise intensities, your body uses a much higher percentage of fat for fuel rather than carbohydrates. Now, because walking is a much lower intensity activity than going for an all-out run, a lot of people, and yeah, a lot of influencers, jump to the conclusion that walking automatically burns more fat than running. But honestly, they're using this scientific fact to paint a really misleading picture. It's like they're handing you one giant piece of a puzzle and trying to convince you it's the whole picture. Now, what's really fascinating here is how the sheer math completely exposes the flaw in that logic. Just picture two people in your head for a second. We've got person A, who heads out and walks for 30 minutes. Then we have person B, who goes out and runs for those exact same 30 minutes. It's totally true that our walker, person A, is cruising right along in that magical fat-burning zone. They're burning a higher percentage of calories specifically from fat. But, and this is a massive but, you have to look at the sheer volume of energy being used by person B. The runner is burning significantly more calories overall. And that right there is the huge blind spot for so many people. They get so hyper-focused on the percentages that they completely ignore the total volume of energy being spent. Because, guys, here is the absolute, undeniable truth of weight loss. Fat loss happens when your body consistently burns more total energy than it takes in. It's just a numbers game at the end of the day. If you burn an incredibly high percentage of fat, but your total calorie burn for the day is incredibly low, you're just not going to see the results you want on the scale or in the mirror. You desperately need that total energy expenditure to actually push your body into a deficit. But hold on, before we go crowning running the undisputed champion of fat loss, we have to talk about real human behavior. Because let's be honest, we often choose our fitness routines based on what sounds amazing in theory rather than what we can actually maintain in reality. Setting a goal to run 5 days a week sounds fantastic on paper. You do the math on the calories and it looks like an absolute foolproof plan. But then week 2 rolls around, you wake up with sore knees, maybe some brutal shin splints, or those expensive new running shoes just start gathering dust in your closet. The routine completely vanishes. And if there's one thing that drives fat loss more than literally anything else, it's consistency. A mathematically perfect workout plan means absolutely nothing if you only stick with it for 6 days. So we've got a real paradox on our hands here. We have walking, which burns a higher percentage of fat and is super easy to stick to. And then we have running, which torches a massive amount of total calories, but can completely break your body and your willpower down if you aren't careful. It's basically a heavyweight boxing match between intensity and consistency. So which one actually takes the title for fat loss? Well, the answer depends entirely on what exactly you're trying to optimize for. Let's break down the actual numbers. And this perfectly illustrates the massive, and I mean massive, mathematical advantage that running brings to the table. Just think about the huge gap in energy expenditure here. If you take a person weighing around 180 pounds, a 30-minute walk is going to burn roughly 140 to 180 calories, which isn't bad. But think about what happens when they run. That exact same 30-minute window of running skyrockets your calorie burn up to 350 to 450 calories. It is a huge, undeniable difference. Because that total calorie burn is so much higher, running is almost always going to lead to greater fat loss over time, assuming you can actually recover from it and do it consistently. But as we just talked about, that is a really big assumption. Which brings us to the real dark horse in this race. Walking has some absolute hidden superpowers. First off, it acts like a shield for your joints. The impact forces of walking are just a tiny fraction of what they are when you run. And because of that, your recovery is practically instant. You can walk for an hour today and feel perfectly fine to do it all over again tomorrow. It offers this highly consistent daily movement for almost anyone, totally regardless of your current fitness level. And honestly, perhaps most importantly, walking actively reduces overall stress levels in your body, whereas high-intensity running can sometimes spike them. Let's look at how this builds into something that can literally make or break your entire journey. Think about how a typical stress cycle actually plays out. When you're stressed out, whether that's from life, work, or overtraining with way too much high-intensity cardio, step one is that spike in increased stress. That naturally, biologically, leads right to step two, intense cravings and emotional eating. Your body is basically begging for quick comfort energy. Step three, all that stress completely ruins your sleep quality. And finally, step four, all of those things combined make fat loss practically impossible because your hormones are now working entirely against you. Walking acts as a circuit breaker for this exact cycle. By lowering your stress, walking indirectly protects your diet and your sleep, which, let's face it, are the true foundations of any fat loss. So let's put this into a real-world scenario. Think about your own life and your own habits for a second. If you had to bet real money right now, would you bet on strategy A, where you commit to running twice a week, or strategy B, where you simply commit to walking every single day? For a vast majority of people, strategy B, that daily walking, actually ends up creating a much larger overall weekly calorie burn. Why? Simply because they actually do it. They don't skip it because they're too sore, they don't bail because they need special gear, they just put on their shoes and get those steps in day after day, week after week. But honestly, why choose it all? The real resolution to this whole fat loss paradox and what many of the top fitness and health experts consider the absolute best strategy isn't just walking, and it isn't just running, it's both. By combining the two, you aren't compromising. You are actually building a bulletproof routine. You get all that sustainable, joint-friendly, stress-reducing daily movement that walking provides, perfectly paired with the highly efficient cardiovascular, calorie-torching power of running. If you're wondering exactly how to structure that, here is a highly effective, perfectly balanced weekly plan you can literally start using today. First, aim to walk 30 to 60 minutes most days of the week. This right here is your foundation. This is your baseline calorie burn and your stress management. Then you layer in running 2 to 4 times per week for that really intense cardiovascular push. And finally, just to make absolutely sure you are preserving your muscle mass while you lose that fat, incorporate some strength training 2 to 3 times weekly. This specific combination just optimizes everything. It burns calories, it protects your joints, it preserves your muscle, and it vastly improves your overall fitness. So the crucial point we really need to hammer home is this core philosophy. The best workout isn't the one that burns the most calories in theory. It's the one you'll consistently perform month after month. Fat loss is a long game, guys. It is not a one-week challenge, and it sure isn't a 30-day blitz. The absolute secret to burning fat and actually keeping it off isn't finding the mathematically perfect workout. It's about building a routine that fits into your life so seamlessly that you can maintain it for years to come. Which brings us to the end of our explainer today. Based on everything you know about your own body, your own schedule, and what you can realistically stick with for the next 5 years, drop a comment below. Are you team walking, or are you team running? Or hey, maybe you've already found a genius way to combine both. Let us know how it's working for you. But I'll leave you with this provocative thought. What if the ultimate hack to your physiology isn't actually about finding the perfect way to push your body harder, but about finding the perfect way to outsmart your own human nature? Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next explainer.